This is a story about four people named everybody, somebody, anybody, and nobody. There was an important job to be done. Everybody was sure that somebody would do it. Anybody could have done it, but nobody did it. Somebody got angry about that because it was everybody's job. Everybody thought anybody could do it, but nobody realized that everybody wouldn't do it. It ended up that everybody blamed somebody when nobody did what anybody could have done.
Created live on Fireside.
Welcome to Athletic Definition. I'm your host, Coach Ray Z. I'm an endurance athlete who has completed 57 marathons, blue belt in jiu-jitsu, and just all-around fitness fanatic. Thank you for joining me today, and welcome to all the returning listeners. Hello, Firesiders. I'm excited to be here today. If you got to listen to my last episode, 155, Staying Hard, if you didn't, it's available everywhere. Check out the replay on Fireside or on your favorite podcast player. That one is because I recently finished reading a book by David Goggins called Can't Hurt Me. When I read the book, I go back and listen to the full episode, but it's really pumped me up. It's really helped my workouts. I feel reinvigorated and super pumped up to just get after it all over again. I think we all go through certain times where we feel less motivated. And one of the things that I have learned through the years is how much time I wasted myself personally when I was younger, sleeping until 1, 2 o'clock, not doing anything productive, just partying, drinking, drinking, and so on. But I've changed a lot through the years, and I'm not saying any of this to cast judgment on anybody. In fact, I'm putting myself out there first that I was super, super lazy. And at times I do consider myself lazy and want to be more productive and more motivated. Even though motivation won't last, then that's where the discipline of me doing it over and over would kick in. But I worked at Bally Total Fitness, LA Fitness, UFC gym, and an MMA gym. And one thing that I heard, and I heard a lot of them, I think I've heard them all, is many different excuses on why you're not going to work out, or why I don't work out, or why I'm not going to join the gym. Now, some of them are legitimate and some aren't. Now, when you work at the gym, of course, you go through your sales training, depending on your position. Went through sales training, so they teach you the biggest objections in general for the gyms, and which are money, spouse, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, and of course, time. So instead of tackling them all, I decided just to focus on time. Time is also an excuse that I've heard is I'm too busy, right? Which basically comes down to time. For a long time now, I'm always looking for a better way where I can manage my time. How can I be more productive? How can I do more things throughout the day? Listening to David Goggins about doing a 40-hour work week, that's like average, that's mediocre. If you want to live a common life, that's fine. But if you want to do something greater, strive for something bigger, then you have to do more on top of that. And if you do want to check out that past episode, like I mentioned, it's called Staying Hard, episode 155, available everywhere. So then to break down for myself and for everybody else, because sometimes we may not really realize that it's an excuse and that we actually do have the time. As the fitness saying goes for working out, 1 hour of your day is 4%, which is really nothing, and people cannot squeeze that in. I would say, well, how about 2%, 30 minutes? But even then, people aren't doing it. So let's start off by, on average, how much, as far as, and this is globally, how much time do we actually have here on Earth as on average? So the average lifespan is 72.98 years. It's a little higher in the United States, which I'll get to, but overall, it's increased. And so then that gives you 72 years to do what you want to do, pursue what you want to do. And if you think about it, our younger years, our formative years as a child and teenagers, we're listening to our parents a lot. There are some of those kids that do get started early, like I've seen some on Shark Tank, and then you see these kids that are just on genius level and really getting after it early. But most of us won't be like that. You have to figure out what you're going to do with your time. So some things are necessary, and no matter what, you can't avoid them. One of them is the bathroom. It's we need to go to the bathroom. In fact, one sign of a good, healthy digestive system and just that your body is good is you going to the bathroom. So bathroom is something we cannot avoid. We need to go and let out our waste. On average, it says that men spend about 855.8 days of their lives in the bathroom, or 2 years, 125 days compared to women who spend 770.8 days of their lives in the bathroom, roughly 2 years and 40 days. So on average, men are spending more time in the bathroom. So you may be saying to yourself, well, there's no way I can cut that out. I need to go to the bathroom. How much of the time in the bathroom are we just wasting? I think eras before people would maybe read a newspaper or a magazine, and now it's not like I'm trying to be a perv and peek, but you can clearly see that people are using the bathrooms inside the stalls because you can hear them when you go to the bathroom. And then some people don't wash their hands after, but that's a whole separate story. But people are definitely using their phones in the bathroom, most likely when they're on the toilet, because another study or thing that you could look into, if you don't believe me, is that cell phones are one of the dirtiest things. So you definitely want to clean them. One of the reasons why they're the dirtiest is because people use them in the bathroom. So if you were to cut out time, unless you want to waste time at work, saying you're in the bathroom and you're on your phone, that's a different thing. That's up to you. But if you're at home and you're just wasting time in the bathroom, how many more years do you want to be in the bathroom for more than 2 years of your life? I certainly don't. To me, life is precious, time is precious, and I don't want to spend that much time in the bathroom. See if there's anything you can do to maybe take a quicker shower, or, like I said, stop looking at social media aimlessly while you're on the shitter. The other one is driving. We have to get to work, we have to get to school, we have to pick up kids, we have to go here, we have to go there. And so on average, we spent 4.3 years of our lives in our car. Now, I'm going to say that definitely varies. I would say compared to someone who lives in Los Angeles, California, like I do, here the traffic is the worst in the nation. And I would say that it's probably a little than 4.3 years if you live in Los Angeles. What could you do to change that around to make it more healthy for you? Maybe does the train save you more time? How about riding your bike or walking to work, depending on how far it is from you, 1 day out of the week or 2 days out of the week, especially with the way gas is now? That might also help your pocket as well as get you in better shape. Then we move on to work. That's right, work. And roughly, this is a lot for a lifetime, but it's expected. Roughly 90,000 hours of your life will be spent at work. And so the average person will spend at least 1/3 of their life at work. As I mentioned, that's about 90,000 hours. A small business owner, and depending also as you climb the corporate ladder, depending on your position, it could be even more than that. So then that's really where, to me at least, I worked and I worked, did what I had to do. But I got to the point where I'm like, I only want to do, if I'm going to spend this much of my life doing something, I want it to mean something. I want it to be as beneficial as possible. I don't want to just tell customers, hey, buy this because the company's telling me. If I'm going to sell products, if I'm going to do anything like that, I want it to do some sort of good. It's going to be up to you and your life situation on whether you can step away from your work or maybe plan it and do something more meaningful, especially since you're going to spend majority of your time at work. And then, of course, eating. We need to eat, we need to refuel, we need to have energy to be able to be productive, go to work, and everything else. And so the Bureau of Labor Statistics on average said that we spend only 1 hour, 8 minutes every weekday consuming food and drinks. Not as much as before that. It was an hour and 17 minutes. To me, that's a little surprising. I think maybe because at work, most of the time I know depending on departments I worked at or companies, sometimes I would have half hour lunch or an hour lunch, and it would just be half hour lunch. By the time you go somewhere or warm up your food, your lunch is over. You barely have time to maybe not even properly chew it right. And then if you have an hour, you have a little bit more. And then it seems, I could be wrong, but it seems like less people spend time sitting and talking as a family. So if you spend less time sitting as a family, it's probably more rushed. And so to me, I thought it would be more time. Um, if you're going to cut that out, maybe it would be through the benefits of fasting, intermediate fasting. That's something that you could look into as well. But really, as I said, some things are very necessary. But now let's get into what are the things that we're definitely wasting time that we could definitely improve. And at the end, I'll give a couple ideas where I think and is available to pretty much everybody that you can do to become more productive and schedule your time more wisely. And this is something including for myself. I do believe in practicing what you preach. So I'm not going to come out here and get on my high horse and tell you about time and how much you're wasting time if it's not something that I'm trying to do or better or become more efficient at myself. So on average, we spend on social media, which I know is a huge killer for people. And according to the latest data, the average amount time spent on social media worldwide, now this is spent time worldwide, is 147 minutes on social media. That's 2 hours and 27 minutes a day in 2022. This is a 2 minutes increase from 2021 numbers, which were also at the highest level recorded. So if you think about it, we went through the pandemic and a lot of people just spent so much time on their cell phone, right? And then you would think, well, because of the pandemic, more people had time to be on their phone, but the numbers are still increasing and increasing. I'm sure maybe compared to 2020, they're down, but they're still going up and they keep setting record highs. Now, this is something you have to pay attention to yourself and see how much time are you wasting on social media. And then some people are like, well, I don't even like social media. I actually personally know a few people that don't even use social media. Well, then you have to be spending your time somewhere else. Maybe it's somewhere more productive, maybe it's not. Television. Television, I was trying to figure it out because I know I posted it many years ago on Facebook, couldn't find it. I think it's been 15 years at least since I got rid of my television. I moved. I had one of those older TVs. It was nice. I had a picture in picture, big, but it was really, really heavy. And I just didn't want to move it. Sometimes when you're moving, you're just like, oh, leave it behind. So I got rid of the TV. And since then, I don't have a TV. In the beginning, it was tough. I was like, well, what am I going to do? I was bored. And then as time went on and I found myself doing other things, I was like, how did I spend so much time watching TV if I don't even have time now to watch TV? Watch TV every single day, 3 hours. Just do the math, contemplate it, see if it's something you want to make a change in. Or if you don't want to give up your TV time, because I'm not saying to be all gun ho or hardcore. I got this idea from Bruce Lee. He used to work out. He used to put his kids on his back and do push-ups and sit-ups so he can spend time with his kids watching TV, but still be active. So maybe you can do something active while you're watching TV. Then at least 1 hour out of the 3 hours you're watching television, you at least got your workout in. Something to consider. It's just finding ways to be more efficient, more productive. And then over a lifetime, a person watches about 141 hours of TV per month, and that is 1,692 hours per year. So I mentioned the life expectancy on the United States. It's a little higher than 72 point whatever. It is 78. So if you do the math on that, that's about 15 years of your life roughly that you spend watching television. When it's all said and done, when you're meeting the maker, if you believe in the maker or whatever you believe in, are you going to be satisfied knowing you spent 15 years of your life watching television? How much of it was commercials? How much of it was just junk television that made no benefit towards your life? even though I don't own a television, I still watch things. I watch things on the internet. I watch things on YouTube. But I don't remember the last time I actually saw a movie. Well, actually, I think I do. The last one I saw, I believe, was Mr. Rogers. And the reason I saw it is because my mom wanted to watch it. So I went with her, I think for Mother's Day or something like that, saw Mr. Rogers. Since then, everything that I watch is something that I'm learning from. I'm learning how to do this, or I'm watching documentaries. I don't want to spend 15 years of my life more than I already wasted when I was younger watching so much television. And we didn't even have cable when I was younger or the internet. So I know I definitely wasted so much, and I don't want to do that for the second half of my life. So I'm definitely happy, but I'm still going to see what I can do to reduce my consumption on, say, YouTube when it's not beneficial. Even though we all do need time to relax, but that's a different story. I don't believe relaxing is just consuming television all day. You need to let your mind relax as well. You need to let your mind recover and not be inundated by advertisement, because that's what television is. It's not about the programming, it's about the ads they're selling you. And you're like, well, I don't watch TV. I do Netflix. Netflix tells you how much time you consume, and it roughly about 214 million people globally are paying memberships to Netflix, even though numbers are slightly down. But that is globally 214 million people. Out of those 214 million people, how many of them are saying, well, I don't have money for the gym? Some gyms are $10 a month, $20 a month. If you want no ads, I think Netflix is kicking up their price up to $20. You'd be better off getting a gym membership, watching some TV at the gym, and then going home and saving yourself some money, or looking for deals. I know there's some deals where Netflix comes for free, or like I mentioned, try working out while you're watching it. That way, it's just not a bunch of consumption. Well, how about Hulu? And now that's the thing. As time has gone on, there's more things to distract you, to keep you busy. So not only do you have cable, satellite, internet, Hulu, Amazon Prime, Netflix. So Hulu has 43.8 million subscribers roughly in 2021. Amazon Prime, it's really hard to get their numbers, but roughly they probably have over 200 million subscribers. So there's people definitely either wasting time or spending way too much time just watching Hulu, Netflix, cable, TV. Moving on to the internet, because if you're not on that, then, and this is internet is separate from actually social media. So it's a separate time that you're using. On average, internet users worldwide spend 415.5 minutes every day online in 2021. In comparison, the current, and we're not even done through the end of the year, I think we have 7 weeks left. The current 2020 average is 403 minutes. That's 12.5 minutes less. As I mentioned, though, we have not finished the end of the year. And at the same time, because of the pandemic, things opening up, there was more internet use. Then they recently did a survey. I really didn't like the small amount of people they got for this survey, but I think it's just to give you an idea. Wasted time, just wasted time in general. The average adult wastes 26 days per year of their time. That's 12 hours a week, and that's annually more than 624 hours a year of just wasted time. And then a birthday comes up, Christmas comes up, Thanksgiving comes up, anything comes up, and you want to take a day off, you want to rest. You add those days on top of the time you wasted already. How much of your life are you really pursuing what you want? How many people are saying, oh, I really want this, or I really want to accomplish that, and really just giving themselves an excuse not to pursue what they want to do, and that is because of time. The other number I wanted to mention is that on average, Americans spend about 90% of their times indoors. I'm a huge advocate for trail running, hiking, going outdoors, getting some vitamin D from the sun, going outside, having outdoor workouts. They're free. Plus, we're outdoor creatures. So how much of the time you're doing indoors, that's something that you want to consider as well and incorporate some outdoor time as well. So now that we kind of figured out where a lot of time is going, then this is where we could see what can we do to make it more effective. Well, the cell phones, the phones, the iPhone, the Androids, all of them now give you time of how much time you spent on each app. Actually, I'm not quite sure of Android. I'm team iPhone. So iPhone that breaks it down: Instagram, Snapchat, which ones you're using and how many hours. Start using that. If you don't use it, start looking at it if you don't use it, and figure out where you could cut down your consumption to actually pursue what you want to do. In the long run, you're going to be happier pursuing what you want to do than being depressed because you aimlessly scrolled through TikTok for hours and hours and hours and basically don't even know where your day went because all your day was spent on looking at some video on something. Now, I use TikTok, so I'm not condemning anything. Funny stuff on there. It makes you laugh. We all need to laugh. We all need to entertain ourselves. But I'm talking about wasted time, becoming more efficient, becoming more productive. That is really where there's no reason to wait till 2023 to start bettering yourself, to start pursuing some goals. And my goals are, I have a lot of things I want to accomplish. Maybe it's because in my opinion, I was a lazy piece of shit when I was younger. I wasted so much time. I don't want to repeat that for the second half. And I really am looking into ways to be more productive. I'm not saying I don't have ways to be productive or anything like that, but you can always revisit, revise, and see how you can improve. And that goes for everything, including your time. Now, I wanted to leave you with this because sometimes we feel that we work as a team, or, you're married, have a girlfriend, boyfriend, and then you're kind of depending on somebody else to get something done so that you can do your part, right? And you're going to be, well, I can't control the time because I'm waiting for this person. So I'm going to leave you with this. This is a nice little poem writing that I seen in my parents' work that they used to have hanging up many years ago. They still have the picture, but I thought it was really good. And so for those people that are working in a team or other people are involved, because sometimes your time isn't always 100% your time. It has to be divided. So it's called That Is Not My Job. This is a story about 4 people named everybody, somebody, anybody, and nobody. There was an important job to be done. Everybody was sure that somebody would do it. Anybody could have done it, but nobody did it. Somebody got angry about that because it was everybody's job. Everybody thought anybody could do it, but nobody realized that everybody wouldn't do it. It ended up that everybody blamed somebody when nobody did what anybody could have done. Stop relying on other people to do what you need to do. Stop making excuses. Take ownership. Take self-accountability for what's going on. And yes, there are certain things that will be out of your control and emergencies will come up. That will depend on where your level of motivation and dedication's at. Because you could either be, well, this emergency happened, I had to go pick up someone unexpectedly or go get my kid from school. And either you could use that as an excuse not to go after what you want to do. And that's making time for writing a book, working on your website, getting a workout, or you're going to find a way to do that, even though you got thrown off track with your scheduling. And also, if you're waiting on somebody else to get it done and that's just going to throw you off, why wait for them when you can get it done? And even if it's not your job, might as well get it done, because if that person wants to waste 15 years of their life watching TV or scrolling on TikTok or watching reels, let them do it, but don't let them control your time. I hope everybody has enjoyed this. This is episode 156. Athletic Definition. My name is Coach Ray Z. And now I'm on a time schedule to go run, get my workout in. And then after that, I will be back with another show. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Athletic Definition. I'll be back later. Coach Ray Z, and I'm out.